Good afternoon, Bacho. I hope you all are doing absolutely fine. Welcome to this day 9 of your breach course, everyone. I hope I am audible and I am visible as well. So today is 21st of April and we are over here to discuss about certain applications of whatever we have studied so far. So till 7th day, 1 week we completed differentiation integration. Let me just try to make you recall. Yeah, hello everyone. And now what we are going to be doing is we are going to be knowing about some applications of whatever we have discussed so far in those 7 days, which were based upon differentiation and integration, along with the real life application in your JEE main and advanced examination. So are you ready? Because today we are going to be discussing about area under curves. Along with that, we are also going to be discussing about graphs. So let's get started, everyone, with so you can write down the name of the topic which we are going to be discussing, that's area under graphs. So obviously we need to discuss about graphs first, isn't it? We will discuss about graphs, that's for sure. But right now, whatever we have discussed previously in the last 7 to 8 days, we are going to be using those applications. Because if you can recall, while I was teaching integration, I already mentioned about one thing, that is area under the graph is nothing but integral. Integration denotes area under the graph. So now let's try to write down the basic equations of kinematics about what we have discussed on day 7 when I deduced the equations of motion, isn't it? So now let's try to write down those equations, everyone. We'll start with the first equation, if you can recall, that was V is equivalent to dx by dt. That's what we considered it our first equation. And we solved couple of differential equation based questions, ordinary differential equation based questions in the previous class, isn't it? So now if I am going to say this is going to be the first equation and the next is going to be A is equivalent to dV by dt. So now from this equation, the one which I wrote it down, can I write it down? See, I also solved one question in the previous lecture session of mine, in the final moments, the end moments, if you can recall. So if I am going to be writing it down, it as dx can be written as vdt. Variable separation method, everyone. Integrate it on both the sides. The LHS is going to be becoming equivalent to x, which is going to be integration of v dt. So now we are coming across a very important first equation over here, which denotes the area under the graph. So I can write it down over here by the means of a statement that displacement is the area under velocity time graph. You can note this thing down, everyone. And similarly, I can say that we are talking about displacement, so there will be associated with velocity. So now what if I am going to be mentioning about distance, I can profoundly write down one more thing over here, that is distance is the area under speed time graph, to be specific. But let me tell you one thing honestly, that you can calculate the distance from the velocity time graph as well. So obviously we are having set of questions which we are going to be discussing right now. Okay. So now what I am going to be saying over here, that is another thing in the form of a note. You all can write it down over here as the distance can be calculated. The distance can be calculated from the velocity time graph as well. We will see that thing by the means of an application. There is an application, everyone. which we are going to be dealing with in the upcoming context of today's lecture session. So now what I will be doing over there is I can write down in another form. I can write it down in another form. What's going to be that form? Let's try to find it out. I can also write down, if you can see this, A is equivalent to dV by dt. So can I write down this by the means of variable separation method as dV becomes equivalent to A dt? Can I write it down? If yes, if I can write it down over there in the chat box. Mention that yes sir, we can write it down. So yes from your side obviously will be implicated by the means of a thumbs up. Can I write it down like this? Everyone, those who are participating in this session, they have to be active. They need to be active over here. Try to understand what I am saying. We can write it down, Mr. Giri. Okay, so now what needs to be done is, you can write this thing, the left LHS integral of dV is going to be written as V, which is going to be equivalent to integral of A dt. So now what does this statement means? This statement means that velocity is the area under acceleration time graph. And what about the statements of these two equations? What about the statement of these two equations, which I have marked over here as equation number 1 and 2? What we can say? So one more thing, I can write it down over there as an extra statement, that is, you can write down everyone, that velocity, we have already discussed this thing, if you can recall, on day number 7th, that velocity is the slope of displacement time graph, isn't it? And similarly, we can write down that acceleration is the slope of velocity time graph. Acceleration has to be the slope of velocity time graph. So we can obtain n number of graphs associated with this, whatever we are discussing so far. So let's try to know about all the things, whatever I wrote it down in a single slide by the means of certain questions. Okay, so shall we start solving problems based upon it? After that, I will be giving you the mathematical representation of graphs, the types of graphs which you are going to be encountering in your JEE main and advanced syllabus is going to be given over here. It's there. We will try to discuss all the things one after the other in a sequence. So now, there's a slide, everyone. So now let's try to solve this previous year JEE main question. I hope the question is visible to everyone. A particle starts from the origin. We are having a question, everyone. You can just check this thing out. A particle starts from the origin at time t is equal to 0 and moves along the positive x-axis. The velocity time graph is being given in the question. This is a previous year JEE main 2019 question. ये JEE main का question है, everyone. ठीक है? Let's try to solve it by the knowledge, whatever we have acquired so far. It's you all are getting ushered. Along with that, I am also getting ushered while ushering you as well. Okay. So now let's try to find it out. So they are asking you to find out what is the position of the particle at t is equals to 5 seconds. Means at this point, if you're able to see, everyone, at this point, what's going to be the position of the particle? So now what needs to be done? I've already discussed that position can be represented by the area under the graph, isn't it? So can you write down the answer? Those who already know the calculation. What do you think? So what needs to be done? So I will write down once again, position is area under the velocity time graph. So now we need to find out, calculate the area till this point, isn't it? Till this point we need to calculate the area of the shaded region. Okay? So can you calculate the area of the shaded region? If yes, you can give the answer, everyone. Tell me the answer apart from writing it down as B and C. I want you to give me the exact numerical value. Okay? So now if you are able to see, everyone just pay attention to this. So can I say that this is associated with a rectangle, with a triangle, everyone? A right angle triangle? Those who are able to see a triangle, give me a thumbs up. Those who are able to see a right angle triangle, give me a thumbs up. Okay? Along with that, we are having a rectangle over here. You just need to calculate the area of these two elements. Can you all find the area of this triangle, everyone? Can you all find the area? Everyone needs to participate. This is based upon your class 10th knowledge, isn't it? So area of the triangle, what is it going to be, everyone? Half into base into height, isn't it? If yes, those who knows this formula, give me a thumbs up. Those who are aware about the formula, give me a thumbs up, everyone. Half into base into height. That's going to be the area of the triangle. Everyone needs to participate. Okay, so now over here, if you're able to see, what is the base? Can anyone tell me the base of this triangle? What is the base and what is the height? Everyone knows coordinate geometry. So what is the base and what is the height of this triangle? Write it down over there in the chat box. What's the base? What's the height? This is the origin. Base is 2. Very good. So base is going to be 2 seconds. And what is going to be the height? Write down the answer over there. What's going to be the height, everyone? What's the height? Height is equivalent to 2 meters second itself, isn't it? This is going to be the height. So I can write it down over there. That's area of the triangle will be half into 2 into 2. ठीक? So what I will be getting? That's 2. 2 meters I am getting it over there. Now we need to find out the area of this rectangle. Right? So now tell me, what's the length? What's the length of this rectangle, everyone? Write down over there in the chat box. What's the length of this rectangle? Write it down over there in the chat box, everyone. So it is going to be, this is 5, this is 2. What do you think? Distance formula you can use. 3, isn't it? This is 5, this is 2. It's going to be 3. We have to take it from there. Those who don't know, what are these coordinates? Check this thing out. This is 2, 0 over here. Over here, this point is 5, 0. If I use distance formula, what I will be getting? That is y2 minus y1 square plus x2 minus x1 square, isn't it? So as a result, what I will be getting? 0 square is 0, 5 minus 2, 3 square, that's 9. So 9 square root will be 3 itself, isn't it? So it is going to be 3. I hope it's clear, everyone. Raise your hands. Means give me a thumbs up or else raise your hands. Those who are getting this value. So now what is going to be the breadth of the rectangle? That is going to be 2 meter per second, isn't it? That is going to be 2 meter per second itself, isn't it? So now what is going to be the area of this area of rectangle? That is length into breadth. Everyone knows that. So the length over there in the question is being given as 3 and the breadth is 2. So what I will be getting over there? So what I will be getting over there? That's 3 into 2. Isn't it, everyone? Yes or no? Tell me everyone. So now what needs to be done? Okay, once again I have to tell. What is the value over there? What you are getting over there? What is the base? Base of the triangle, right angle triangle, you are getting it as 2. Over there, what is the height you are getting? That is 2, isn't it? So what is going to be the area of the triangle? That's half into base into height. That's half into 2 into 2. So the area of this, we are getting it as 2 meters. Isn't it? It's going to be 2 meters itself over there. I hope it's clear. Give me a thumbs up if it's clear over there. And what is going to be this? What do you think is going to be this one? You are talking about this rectangle. So what is the value of the rectangle? Okay. So as a result, you are able to see that this is 3, this is 2. So what I will be getting over there? That is 6 meters. Isn't it? So they are asking you that at that time t is equal to 5 seconds, what is going to be the position over there of that particle? So at this point, you can see that it's going to be at 6 meters itself, isn't it? So what do you think will be the answer, everyone? Write down the answer over there in the chat box. What do you think will be the answer to this question? Nine. Why 9? Over there it's 2, right? Most of them are mentioning 9 over there. So what do you think it should be? So can you calculate 8 meters? Okay. 8 meters it should be, but in the given list of options, they haven't mentioned it to be as 8 meters, isn't it? In the given list of options, the total distance, if you say, see, now in this case, you are having, you can write it down over there, that total area is going to be equivalent to 6 meters plus 2 meters, isn't it? So 6 plus 2, you know that that is going to be 8 meters. This is going to be the distance. This is going to be the distance, but they are asking you to find out the position. Yes, you are able to see, you are right, by the way. There is a rectangle over there in the top as well. Yes, there is a rectangle, you are right. You can see that there is a rectangle over here. Yes, now you will be getting the answer because these are solid lines. You just need to follow the solid lines, everyone. You are right. So in this camouflage, it's not being shown. So you can see that. I will just try to erase this once again. तो आपको क्या दिख रहा है? देखो, ध्यान देना. You are able to see that there is, these are the solid lines you need to follow from here till this point, isn't it? So now there are 2 rectangles over there. There are 2 rectangles. There is a solid line up to here, everyone. So you need to find out the area till this point. For that, what needs to be done? Apart from calculating the total area over here, you just need to, I will do it once again, everyone. See this thing. So that's the reason you need to check the figures properly, isn't it? So now this is fine. Up to here, it's 2 meters, it should be. Now what needs to be done? Over there, you can see you need to calculate the area of this rectangle. And then the thin rectangle's area needs to be calculated. So what will be the area of this rectangle? This is going to be, length is 2. 2 into the height, which is going to be 2. You are going to be getting it as 4 meters. And now the area of this, that is, the length of it is going to be 1 meters. 1 into 3. What I will be getting it as? That is 3 meters. So now you need to calculate the position, means you need to sum them up. Then what is going to be the distance over here? The distance is going to be the final distance. You can write it down. So that's why your observation should be perfect. So I can write it down over there as 4 meters plus 3 meters plus 2 meters. As a result, I will be getting it as 9 meters. So the correct option to this question is going to be 9 meters. So that's why you need to follow the solid lines. These are what? This dashed lines are imaginary lines, everyone. These are the imaginary lines. And these are the lines which are solid lines which you need to follow. So this is the solid line, everyone. I will just try to draw. I will just try to erase everything. देखिए solid lines को देखिए आप. Solid line दिख रहा है? From here it's coming up to here. See. Everyone's able to see the solid line? If yes, give me a thumbs up. Follow the solid lines, everyone. Are you able to see the solid lines? Solid lines, solid lines, solid lines. दो different चीज है. एक होता है solid lines and the next one is the imaginary lines. So imaginary lines should not be followed. So that's why it was proving out to be a camouflage over here. So that's the reason I just tried to show you that you should be following the solid lines. You should be observant. Your observation should be perfect. If I would have taken this, I would have got the answer to be 8 meters, which is not the answer. So that's the reason solid lines. White line ko dekhiye. This solid white line we are trying to say. And we are being asked to find out the position at exactly at t is equal to 5 seconds. And we just need to know. Once again I will explain, Moksha. You know triangle. You know triangle, you know rectangle, isn't it? So now what we have to do, you know that position is area under the velocity time graph. Over here you are being given velocity time graph, isn't it? No, area's unit, I know that's meter square, but what we need to find out, Anand? We need to find out the displacement. So that's why the answer is going to be in meters itself, okay? So now what I'm going to do is, you need to calculate the area of this triangle first, and then you need to follow the solid line. You are having two rectangles, isn't it? I will mark the rectangles with orange color, okay? One is this one, this rectangle, and the next one is this rectangle. You just need to add the areas of this triangle with this rectangle and with the thin rectangle. If you add them up, you will be getting the position of the particle at that instant. Okay, fine. So now can you tell me from this question itself, let's see, I will be just trying to check your understanding about this question. So can you, okay Harsha, pay attention. Can you find the position of the particle at t is equal to 8 seconds? Find from this question itself, I am asking you to find out, find same question hai, find, let's see, I will be trying to check your understanding. Find the position at t is equal to 8 seconds. I believe that everyone should be drawing the graph properly. You draw the graph properly, everyone, okay? You please do try to draw the graph properly, just like the way it's being given with all the scales. What I will do is I will be erasing all the annotations. We are talking about the annotations over here. So you need to follow this properly. So you need to find out the position of the particle at 8 seconds. Can you write down the answer? What needs to be done? Till here, see this. Now I believe that सबको वो solid line दिख रहा है, ठीक है? Till t is equal to 5. And now once again you are having another solid line, isn't it? Now if you are able to see that you are having the continuation of the solid line, it goes like this. एक step की तरह नीचे जा रहा है ना? So the entire figure, entire solid line, I will try to draw with yellow color. So that's the reason you pay attention, everyone. So it starts from a solid line का शुरुआत कुछ ऐसा हो रहा है. It goes like this. It goes up and like this. Right? The person who gave me the answer, 15 meters. Okay. So till here, यहाँ तक का area, I am saying that the area till this region is already being given. यहाँ तक का area आपको दिया हुआ है, which is you calculated it to be as 9 meters. Now what needs to be done? You need to calculate the area of this region, the one which I am shading it with blue color. So now what needs to be done? There are two rectangles and one right angle triangle, isn't it? So क्या हो जाएगा area of this rectangle? See this. So now what we need to do is, so what do you think? What will be the area of this rectangle? क्या होना चाहिए? चलिए देख लेते हैं. 15 meters है, 16 meters है. तो first of all I will write it down like this. Area of this rectangle. ठीक है, इधर ध्यान देना. कितना है? 1 into, right, 6 minus 5 is 1. 1 into 3. Okay? That 3 meters is going to be the area of this. 3 meters is going to be the area of this long rectangle. ठीक. अब आता है इधर this one we are talking about. इसका एरिया क्या हो जाएगा? 1 into this one. The breadth is 2. Can I say 1 into 2? 7 minus 6, 1. And over here it is, कितना है? 2 है ना? So this 2 meters over here. And finally, this right angle triangle whose base is 1 meters and the height is 2 meters. So what I will do? Half into base is 1 and the height is 2, isn't it? कितना आ गया? 1 meters. So now the remaining shaded position is having 3 plus 2, 5 plus 1, 6. So 9 meters we were already having. So 9 plus 6 कितना होता है? 9 plus 6, write down the answer over there. 9 plus 6 is 15 meters. So I will write it down. 9 meters we were already having. We were having till t is equal to 5 seconds. And now we are having this 3 plus 2 plus 1, which is 6 meters from 5 seconds to 8 seconds, isn't it? Because now if you are able to see, after 8 seconds, the graph is touching the time axis. ठीक, isn't it? So now what I will be doing is, this is what? 9 meters plus 6 meters will be 15 meters is the total distance of the particle. ठीक है? That is the total distance of the particle. तो इस तरीके से आपको करना है. This is what you should be doing whenever you are getting this type of situations. ठीक? Let's go to the next question, everyone. Okay, fine, Harsha. Everyone, ध्यान दीजिए. Let's try to solve another question over there. Try to do. Area of two rectangles which are side by side are not equal. Why? Because the breadths are different, Sheikh, isn't it? The breadth are the width, you can see that they are different, isn't it? That's why for this two you are saying, right? They are the same itself, isn't it? 1 into 3, 1 into 3 itself. That's what we did, isn't it? This two if you're talking about, it has to be 3. इधर भी 3 था, 1 into 3, इधर भी 3 था, isn't it? Okay, yes, this question, everyone. Okay, so now can you calculate the ratio? Now read the question. Once again this problem, let's try to read the problem. The velocity time graph of a body moving in a straight line is shown in the figure. The ratio of displacement to that of distance is 0 to 2 seconds. So now this thing is going to be taught once again once you enroll into a Sri Chaitanya Academy, IIT Academy. So kinematics will be taught once again. So these are what? The prerequisites I already mentioned on the very first day while introducing the bridge course session, if you can recall. So now at that time, once you enroll in all the institutions across the nation, Sri Chaitanya across the nation, such that you don't find difficulty in that point of time, I am solving these problems, such that your respective sirs or madams get impressed from your progress during that point of time. So that's the reason I am solving these questions. Theek? So now once again we are having JEE Main 2023 question. So velocity time graph is being given in the question. You need to find out the ratio of displacement to distance. What is the difference? What is the difference? Can anyone tell me what is the difference in between these two parameters? ये बहुत ही अच्छा question है. What is the difference in between these two parameters? 1:3, yes, correct. Venkat Subba Reddy is correct. He got the correct answer, I think so. 1:1 nahi aayega. Naidu, Siddha, it's not going to be correct. Venkat is correct over here in this question. Take. So now, see, whenever you are able to see this type of difficult, these are not difficult questions. Once you start practicing them, you will find out to be, you will be finding out these questions to be very easy. Trust me, these are easy questions. Okay. So now, whenever you are willing to solve this type of questions, the first thing which you should be making to be fixed in your respective minds is that I won't be giving up. I won't be giving up. Okay? No one should be giving up in solving the question. First of all, displacement is a vector quantity. We will introduce vectors in the upcoming days, and distance is a scalar quantity. So I will write down very shortly that displacement is a vector quantity whereas distance is a scalar quantity. Okay? So displacement can be negative, it can be 0, but distance cannot be 0. Distance can never be 0, everyone. For that, what needs to be done is displacement. In order to calculate displacement, you need to calculate the area under the graph while taking the sign convention. But if you are going to be calculating the distance, there is no point of considering the sign convention. You just keep on adding up the areas. So let's try to find it out. Okay. So now, first of all, identify the geometrical figures over here. Identify the geometrical figures. Let's start. I will say, Manikant Reddy, I am calculating it. So hold on your hats. Have patience and never give up. Okay. No one should be giving up. Isn't it? So now I will be mentioning it. So now what needs to be done over there? So you can say that this shaded region, the one which I am shading it in green, needs to be calculated. Okay? The one which I am shading it with green needs to be calculated. So what are we having? We are having sets of rectangles. Sets of rectangles. I hope everyone's able to see rectangles. If yes, give me a thumbs up. Rectangle sabko dikh raha hai? If yes, give me a thumbs up. I am saying Naruto, wait a second. Rectangles. So what is the area of a rectangle? Once again, area of a rectangle is going to be length into breadth. Area of a rectangle is going to be length into breadth. So now what needs to be done? The first thing, you should not be giving up. Okay? So now you need to do it as, see, the length is 2 seconds and the breadth is 8 units मान लीजिए, 8 मीटर पर सेकेंड. दिख रहा है सबको? इस रेक्टेंगल का लेंथ ब्रेथ. ओके? फॉर दिस, व्हाट इज द लेंथ? 4 minus 2, 2. What is the breadth? Should be minus 2. Minus 2, right? According to distance, it should be 2. ठीक है? According to distance formula, it should be 2 units. But the distance is actually minus 2 meters. Okay? This one, tell me the length 4. What is the width? 4 itself. Length is 2. The width is minus 2. Minus 2, or by using distance formula, I will be getting it as 2. Okay? Clear about the lengths and the breadths of all the rectangles? If yes, give me a thumbs up. If yes, give me a thumbs up, everyone. If length and breadth is clear or not. Vicky Sana, it is positive. Don't worry. I will show you what's the difference. First of all, we need to calculate the displacement. Okay? So first of all, what you can do is you can calculate the areas. Okay? This is 8 into 2. This has to be 2 into 2 or 2 into minus 2. I will say which expression to use where. Okay, for this it's going to be this one right over there. What's the length? 4. So 4 into 4, isn't it? And for this rectangle it's going to be 2 into minus 2 or 2 into plus 2. Okay, now for displacement, what are they asking? The ratio of displacement to that of distance. So what I will do, so see everyone how to calculate the displacement. So always remember that displacement is a vector quantity which are going to be discussed in the upcoming days, and it can be associated with positive, negative, या 0 values. It can have positive, it can have negative, and it can also be associated with the 0 values. Okay, whereas, so now let's try to do it. First of all, let's try to calculate displacement. Are you ready for the calculation of displacement? So let's get started. Over there, pehla hai dekho, 8 into 2, isn't it? So I will write it down over there as 8 into 2 for this. Let's say rectangle number 1, rectangle number 2, rectangle number 3, rectangle number 4. For rectangle number 1, it's going to be the length is 2 meters, 2 seconds, and 8 meter per second is the width. So it's going to be 8 into 2. Plus, now for this inverted rectangle which is being marked as 2, for that, what needs to be done? Yes, Harsha, I'm saying you. So now, this 2 into minus 2, what did I say? 2 into 2 it should be, or else it's going to be 2 into minus 2. Now sign convention needs to be followed while you are calculating the displacement. While you are calculating the displacement, we need to take the sign convention under consideration. So it has to be 2 is the length, minus 2 is the width for rectangle number 2. So I will write it down 2 into minus 2. Okay. Now, the next, what needs to be done? For the erected rectangle once again, 4 is the length. So I will directly write it down 4 into, what is the width? It's 4 itself. The breadth is 4 itself. So there is no sign associated. So 4 into 4. Now, final, the last, the fourth inverted rectangle. So what needs to be done over there? The length is 2 into, now what's going to be the breadth? Breadth has to be the sign convention, minus of 2. So I will be getting it as, so what I will be getting, 16 minus 4 plus 16 minus 4. That is 16 plus 16 is 32 minus 8. Kitna hota hai 32 minus 8? What's 32 minus 8, everyone? Write down, everyone. What is 32 minus 8? Bataiye. 24, isn't it? So that's 24. Why I am getting the value of displacement. Now we need to calculate the value of distance. For that, what needs to be done? For distance, check the calculation properly. Okay. So it is going to be 24 itself. So now for distance, distance can take, it's a scalar quantity. So we will discuss about vector scalars in the upcoming days, from the next week onwards. Okay. So it cannot be, okay, 0 or negative. Distance kabhi negative 0 nahi hota. Okay. So now what's going to be the value of it? So you can write it down it as, so now there is no need to use the sign convention. No need to use the sign convention. So what we can do? Okay. Sign convention means, Harsha, if it is in the negative direction of x-axis or y-axis, okay, we need to take the minus sign. Got it? While calculating the displacement. If it is along the negative direction of abscissa or ordinate, we need to take the negative sign. Okay, Harsha? So now what needs to be done over here? So that is 8 into 2. Ignore the sign convention. 2 into plus 2. Ho jayega, theek hai? It has to be 2 into positive of 2. We need to take. Then 4 into 4 plus 2 into 2. What I will be getting? 16 plus 4 plus 16 plus 4. That is 32 plus 8. What I will be getting? What is 32 plus 8, everyone? Minus 4. Which one? Minus 4 you are saying. कौन सा minus 4 आ रहा है आपका? Do the calculations properly what you are getting, everyone. So what you will be getting, once again do the calculations. 2 into 8. I hope it's clear. 8 into 2, it's 16. Over there it's 2 into 2 or minus 2, isn't it? 2 into this 2. Okay, there is a misconception over here. The scales are not proper, everyone. Check the scales. Check the scales properly. This is minus of 4 it's bearing, isn't it? ये आपका 4 है. This is minus of 4. It should be 2 into minus 4 rather than minus 2. This is our. So that's why it should be done properly, isn't it? ध्यान दीजिए कितना है इधर? minus 4 है ना? And over here it is. Over here this is 2 is there. Over here this is. Okay, so you need to do it properly, everyone. See that there is a small change over there. This is minus 4 actually. Okay, so write it down once again, the calculation part, in order to have a better understanding of everything. Okay, so let's try to do the calculation part over there. Those who didn't understand, they can write it down once again. So what do you think it's going to be? This is 8 into 2. Okay, it's clear over here. This is 2, it's extending up to minus 4. So can I write it down it as 2 into minus 4 or 2 into 4? Got it? That's what it should be. Over there it's going to be 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. Over there it's 4. So it is going to be 4 into 4 itself. And now over here, see the length of this particular rectangle. So till where is it extending? कहां तक extend कर रहा है? ध्यान दीजिए कहां तक extend कर रहा है? It needs to be followed carefully. Same height, right? Isn't it? Same itself. It's going to be minus 4 rather than minus 2. This is a blunder which we are trying to commit. Minus 4 and this is 2. Okay. Yes, second also minus 4. तो इसलिए ध्यान दीजिए इधर. तो that's going to be 2 into minus of 4 and this is also going to be 2 into minus of 4. देखिए करके कितना आ रहा है? Isn't it? Over there it is minus of 4. This is the correction which we are doing. So as a result of that, I will be getting it as 16. What I will be getting, everyone? Do the calculation. 16. Right? 16 plus 16 minus of this is going to be minus of 8, isn't it? Minus 8, this is minus 8. So 32 minus of 16, what I will be getting? Now you can do it, everyone. Kitna aa raha hai? Do the calculation. That is 32 minus of 16. What I will be getting? 16. Okay. So now in this case you just need to add them up. Kitna aa jayega? 2 into 4 plus 2 into 4 itself needs to be done, isn't it? 2 into 4 plus 2 into 4. So I will be getting it as 8 plus 8. कितना आएगा बताइए? 8, 8, and this is going to be 32 plus 16. What's going to be the value बताइए? That is going to be 48. So this is the value of distance. Now what is being asked in the problem? You need to find out the ratios of displacement to that of distance. Means 16 meters to that of 48 meters. कितना आता है? Do it and give me the answer. 16 by 48. That is 16. 3s are 48. 1 by 3. So ratio comes out to be 1:3. So the correct option amongst the given list of options is going to be option number D. Okay? So that's why you should be observing the things carefully. ठीक है. So I was just trying to show you that what a single misobservation can cost you. You will be getting a wrong answer. So 1:3 सबका आया. Did everyone get 1:3? If yes, give me a thumbs up. We are about to start graphs. Yes, I know that the questions are good. I know that the questions are good itself. So that's why you need to check the scales properly. Observation should be perfect. ये सब questions के लिए. So अब आ रहे 1:3 Naruto and all those who were mentioning me that how is it coming out to be 1:3. तो अब समझ में आया 1:3 क्यों आ रहा है? Okay, Zombie Slayer, can you explain why plus and minus? Once again I will say, do you know that distance or displacement is area under velocity time graph? I already said. How to find out the position of the distance? You just need to add them up. You cannot subtract because distance cannot be 0 or negative. Whereas displacement can be 0, can be negative, or it can be positive. In order to find out displacement, you need to follow the sign convention. Sign convention means if something is like inverted, if its scales is extending up to -4, you need to take that sign. You need to take that sign, okay? Whereas in the case of distance, you are not using the sign. For example, over here, in order to calculate the displacement, over here, if you're able to see, I was using the sign -4. Perhaps over here, in order to calculate the distance, I was just using the sign +4. Now you got it. -4 over here was being chosen over here, +4. Because in distance, I cannot afford anything to be negative. Distance scalar hai, it can be only positive. Distance kabhi 0 nahi hota. In the upcoming days, you people are going to be taught with this concept of distance and displacement. Okay? Okay, clear? ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let's start graphs because now we are about to start graphs. This is the basics. Certain things about graphs I have already mentioned, that slope and area under the graph. Slope means differentiation and area under the graph means integration. So now what I will be doing over here is, there comes in physics, these graphs we are going to be following. So now you can see that we are going to be initiating with the graph of a straight line. We'll start with straight line, everyone. So you can see that following graphs and the corresponding equations are frequently used in physics. ठीक है, physics में हम ये equation use करेंगे. So the first is going to be straight line. You can write it down. The one which I marked it with 1. So y is equal to mx is going to be the equation of a straight line. Since I've already discussed, before we initiated calculus, I said that y is equal to fx, isn't it? Those who can recall this, those who can remember this, they can give me a thumbs up that y is equal to fx. And you can plot the parameters in between any arbitrary physical quantity along the y-axis, which is the ordinate, or else any physical quantity along the x-axis, which is the abscissa, isn't it? So y is equal to mx represents a straight line passing through the origin where m is equal to tan theta. What is this m is equal to tan theta? This is the slope. M is equal to tan theta means the slope. Okay, that's what it's being given. Where theta is the angle which that straight line makes with respect to the positive x-axis. Okay, which this straight line makes with respect to a positive x-axis, which is being given. So it's in the anti-clockwise direction, I will say. So this is what the two orientations, two straight lines passing to the origin, if you're able to see, the one which is being represented over here to the left. Over here, theta is an angle which is rotated in an anti-clockwise direction or counterclockwise direction. Okay, so the two possible cases are being shown over there. The first one, if you're able to see the graph which is being represented to the left, that follows an equation of y is equal to mx. Whereas the graph which is being plotted to the right, it is represented as y is equals to minus of mx. Why? Because the slope is going to be negative over here, isn't it? Because the slope is going to be negative over here. So now what needs to be done? देखिए लिखा हुआ है ना, the slope of the line is going to be negative in this aspect. So now what needs to be done over here? So now let's try to understand how to plot a straight line. Let's try to know how to plot a straight line, because tomorrow we'll start with parabolas. So you can write down straight line. We already started straight line. And what is the standard equation of straight line? Anyway, straight line is a chapter which is going to be there in your JEE Advanced Mathematics curriculum, which is going to be under the context of coordinate geometry. Straight line, circles, parabola, ellipse, hyperbola, you people need to study in that context, okay? So that's the reason over here you need to know certain basic aspects. Then only you can solve any problem of JEE Advanced and Main Physics within fraction of seconds. So now what needs to be done? So I will be saying the standard equation of a straight line is going to be written as y is equivalent to mx plus c. Y is equals to mx plus c. Write down everyone. This is the equation of a straight line. This is what is nothing but the equation of a straight line. Of a straight line. So now what I will be doing over there is, let's try to label this thing out. Y stands for the y-axis. M stands for the slope. X stands for the x-axis. C stands for the y-intercept. So now these things you need to know. Okay? Y is the y-axis, M is the slope, X is going to be the abscissa or the x-axis, and the C is going to be the y-intercept. Okay, so now what I'm going to be doing is, let's try to know about this thing too. Three things. First, that is straight line passing through the origin. The diagrams which were being represented over here. This means that the straight lines, these are two straight lines which are passing through the origin. So what we can do? We will write down straight lines passing through the origin. So what does it mean? So straight line passing through the origin, the equation should not be associated with the y-intercept. The equation should not be associated with the y-intercept, means the value of c is going to be equivalent to 0, isn't it? I can say that when c is going to be equivalent to 0, y will be eitherly mx or minus of mx. Now let's try to plot a graph based upon it. The graph which you are already acquainted with. Since your standard 10th, if you can recall, that's the Ohm's law. Those who can recall Ohm's law, they can write it down over there in the chat box. Ohm's law, everyone. Write down the Ohm's law over there, the formula of the Ohm's law. Yes, V is equals to IR. So now can I say that the potential difference V is being plotted along, it's a parameter which we are plotting it along the y-axis, isn't it? And I is electric current which is being plotted along x-axis, isn't it? And what is going to be the slope? R. So if I just try to plot V versus I, potential difference along the y-axis, and the current is being plotted along the x-axis, I will be getting a straight line passing to the origin like this, isn't it? So this straight line is not having any intercept, isn't it? If you're able to see that this straight line is not having any y-intercept because it's passing to the origin. And what is the slope? You can say that the slope of this, can anyone tell me the slope of this? What do you think is going to be the slope? Slope is going to be R, which is the resistance. R, isn't it? Y by x, dy by dx, tan theta. So this is how you can find out, everyone. Just try to check this thing out. So if I just try to see, I will be able to find out the slope is constant as you keep on moving up the strip of this straight line. Okay, so it's going to be constant. So I will say that this tan theta is going to be equivalent to delta V by delta I. So you can also write it down it as dV by di, because in that condition this is what we can say, isn't it? dV by d of I, isn't it? Okay, so now what I will be doing over there is, I can also write it down. This tan theta is what? You know that this is dy by dx. In this case it is dV by di, which is the slope. Isn't it, everyone? Okay, so that's how we can say. And if I just try to plot, let's say y is equal to minus mx, or let's try to plot a graph. I will try to plot a graph over here which is being denoted as y is equals to minus of 2x. You can think about plotting it, everyone. Let's say y is equals to minus of 2x. I need to plot this. Okay. Any other values, let's try to choose it as, I will just try to give you some more interesting value apart from writing it down like this. Let's say it is minus of x by root 3. Okay. Let's say y is equals to minus of x by root 3. So now what do you think how the straight line can be constructed? So I can construct this straight line just like that. Let's try to plot. This is going to be the y-axis. This is going to be the x-axis. Like this. This is the origin. So now you can see that there is a minus sign associated over here. The slope is negative, isn't it? Can anyone tell me this thing, that the slope is proving out to be negative? Those who are able to visualize that the slope is negative, they can give me a thumbs up. Apart from introducing yourselves. The slope is negative or not? If you are able to see, everyone. Negative. Okay. So that means it will be making an obtuse angle, isn't it? It is going to be making an obtuse angle. Everyone knows an obtuse angle, isn't it? So now this can be plotted like this. So if I want to, so what is the intercept in this? Intercept is 0. If you need to, wherever you are getting a straight line equation, the first thing which you need to do is compare it with the standard equation of straight line, which is y is equals to mx plus c. So you just need to compare this with y is equal to mx plus c. You will be getting that slope is minus of 1 by root 3. Means that is minus of, what we can say, minus of tan 30, isn't it? Minus of tan 30. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3. Does everyone agree with this? Tan 30 is 1 by root 3. Tan 45 is 1. Tan 60 is root 3. Okay. So now what we are going to be doing is, the straight line will be passing to the origin like this. Right. So it will be passing to the origin. Let's try to find it out. Let's say it passes through the origin. Okay, like this. Okay, it's clear? So that's how you are going to be constructing this straight line, and the angle which is making, this is the angle which it subtends from the x-axis, which is equivalent to 150 degrees. We are getting the concept of multiple angles. 150 degree is a multiple angle, everyone. So we'll discuss about all the things in trigonometry in the upcoming days. 30, isn't it? 60's multiple angle is going to be 120 degrees. Okay. So that's how you know that tan 150 is going to be equivalent to minus of 1 by root 3. Clear, everyone? So if yes, so that's how it's for today. Tomorrow we are going to be continuing with some more straight lines, because we need to know how to solve straight lines properly. So certain examples, certain applications part we are going to be discussing tomorrow. So thank you very much for today. 150 is a multiple angle of 30. Bala, I will mention it tomorrow. Okay. Resistance cannot be negative, Saket. Resistance can only be positive. Temperature coefficient can be negative for semiconductors, which we are going to be discussing in the upcoming days. Okay, so that's it for today. Tomorrow we are going to be continuing our discussions in straight lines, how to plot straight lines, because the application part you will be finding everywhere in Einstein's photoelectric equation, one of the most important equation which has been asked in the last 5 to 6 years in your JEE main examination. Even in advanced examination, you will be getting some straight lines to be plotted. You need to identify the equations, the parameters, and then mark the intercept and the slope. Okay, so thank you for today. Don't forget to like the session, because your likes really matter a lot for us. And in the end, which I will be saying, don't forget to subscribe the Sri Chaitanya Educational Institutions channel. So departing right now, it's Avinav Banerjee for you. Thank you very much. Meet you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Indian Standard Time.